A beachfront apartment at an incredible price seemed like the perfect vacation escape. The photos showed spectacular views and elegant interiors. But from the moment we arrived, something felt off. The nighttime noises, shadows moving on their own, and my husband Mark's strange behavior warned me that this place held dark secrets. 5 families had vanished here without a trace.
You're entering Universe Paranormal, where the unknown comes to life.
I had never been so excited about a vacation as when I found that apartment online. The photos showed a spectacular beachfront property with ocean views at a surprisingly low price for peak season. My husband Mark and I decided to book it immediately for a week. The process was strange from the start, as the owner only communicated through cryptic emails and requested payment in cash. When we arrived at the building, we noticed it looked more run down than in the photos, but we stayed optimistic. The landlady, a grim-looking elderly woman, handed us the keys without saying a word and limped away down the hallway. The interior of the apartment smelled of dampness and something else I couldn't identify, a sickly sweet odor that reminded me of rotting flowers. The walls had yellowish wallpaper with patterns that seemed to shift when you looked at them directly. The furniture was old but elegant, though covered with white sheets that gave them a ghostly appearance. Mark tried to stay upbeat, but I felt something wasn't right. That first night, the noises began. Footsteps above us, even though we were on the top floor. During the day, things seemed normal, but as night fell, the apartment transformed. Mirrors reflected shadows that moved on their own, and the temperature dropped inexplicably. On the third day, I found old photographs in a drawer. They showed different families posing in the same apartment, all with empty expressions and vacant stares. An internet search revealed something disturbing. In the past 30 years, 5 families had vanished without a trace after renting this place. The police never found any clues. Neighbors said the building had a dark history, that something terrible happened in the 70s that no one wanted to mention. The nighttime sounds intensified. We now heard children's laughter and muffled conversations coming from within the walls. Objects moved by themselves, and doors slammed shut for no reason. Mark started acting strangely, spending hours staring out the window and talking about staying there forever. I woke up one night to find him standing in the kitchen, motionless, staring into a dark corner. When I touched him, his skin was ice cold. He looked at me with eyes that weren't his own and spoke in a voice that didn't belong to him. He said the apartment had chosen us, that we were now part of its collection. I tried to convince him to leave, but he refused. Each passing day, Mark became more distant, as if something was slowly consuming him. Dark stains began appearing on the walls, spreading like ink in water. The sweet smell grew stronger, and I started having nightmares about the families in the photographs. One night, I discovered a door that hadn't been there before. It opened to a long, dark hallway that seemed endless. From the other side came voices calling me, begging me to join them. Mark wanted us to enter, saying we would find the peace we were looking for. That's when I knew I had to act. I waited until he fell asleep and packed the essentials. While preparing my escape, I found more photographs. They showed Mark and me, but I couldn't remember when they were taken. In each image, we looked paler, thinner, as if we were fading away. I left the apartment that same night, leaving Mark behind. The guilt still haunts me, but I know that wasn't him anymore. The last thing I saw before fleeing was his reflection in the hallway mirror, but he wasn't alone. Behind him were dozens of faces, all wearing the same empty expression as the families in the photographs. I never heard from Mark again, and the apartment still appears online, waiting for its next victims.